All right, hi guys, welcome to another amazing episode of That's My Time podcast. My name is Tolu Afilaka. I'm sure you guys have been getting a lot of insights, a lot of wisdom from the podcast. And today happens to be one of my best episodes because I have my mentor sitting with me today. He is one of Nigeria's renowned stand-up comedians and compeers. He has toured all across Europe, Africa, and very soon America. Ladies and gentlemen, he hails from Isoko Delta State. He's a graduate of mechanical engineering. With me today is Forever.
Woo! I should know how what is now.
My mentor, my boss, thank you so much for taking our time to be with me today. I'm very happy.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is a dream come true, for me to have it in my head and then to see you on my couch. Like, it feels like I'm dreaming.
Are you doing all this couch or you rented it? Okay.
Yes, sir. So, sir, like I said in my intro, you are someone that I've gained so much wisdom from your interviews to your lifestyle and your...
I was saying my account details, you need to pay for...
Like...
I can argue that to God offering.
Yeah. Okay. And so many other things. I remember a particular experience I had with you. I was going to meet you. I was going for the first Alibaba spontaneity. Okay. Yeah, so I met you, I think it was Ajele's show. So I met you by the car and told you that I want to go for Alibaba spontaneity, but I have church that day. And you spoke to me and you said, if you were traveling on that day, will you say you are going to church? And then that just dawned on me and I was like, okay, that was like an answer. And I went that day and actually came first at that selection stage before going to a hotel. And I'm really grateful to you. And you also used to do some inspirational quotes and stuff on Instagram, a time like that. I think I was in university at that time, and then those things really helped me and put me through. Going into the questions.
Yeah.
There's one of these jokes that you have. It's actually one of my favorite performances. It was at CCI Young and Free. You said this joke about you being an assistant pastor, and you had people that used to call you Papa. You allow us your prayers were giving you you were helping people. Papa, you go hungry after some time. But you said something was happening. That the assistant head of choir, or one of the choir ladies, was praying at the backyard, and you heard that she went blind.
Yeah, that's no, she was not assistant. She was in the prayer department.
Okay, she was prayer department.
Yeah, one of the people in the prayer department.
So can you tell us what exactly happened? So was that story real? Is it a real story?
It's a true story.
She actually went blind.
She went blind. So what we do is that when we're done with semester exams,
okay,
1 week before everybody goes back home from school,
yes,
the fellowship will now go for missions in a remote village somewhere that is not really far from school. So it was a normal tradition. We always have a guest speaker. Then I was assistant pastor, vice president, but we called him assistant pastor then. So we're waiting for our guest speaker to come. He was meant to be with us like 6 p.m. because the program would start by 7 and he was meant to start preaching at 8 o'clock. 7:30, we've not seen man of God. 7:45, we now called him and said that he now told us that he would not be able to make it today, that he would join us in the following day. Okay. So my pastor, being the president of the fellowship, was like, he had a feeling in the spirit that he would not come, so that the Holy Spirit prompted him to prepare a sermon to preach on the first day.
Okay.
So while it was about 5 minutes for him to go and preach, they now ran to tell us that one of the prayer members that were praying behind one of the school classes has gone blind. That they need us to come and pray for.
What was your position in the fellowship?
Me?
Yes.
I was assistant pastor then, vice president. So it was now about 5 minutes for my pastor to go and preach. So it was obvious that he has to go and preach.
Yes.
Meaning that the next person that will go and pray for this person is the son of man. I see. It's the son of man. As a man of God, what do we do? He said, go and pray for her. I said, I was good at sending God. I will do my own. I will pray. I will say in Jesus' name. If my heart was not open, you are the one that will collect the shame. So do the needful. So I go there, prayed. I was actually I also prayed, and to the glory of God, she regained her sight. So when she regained her sight, I was now asking her what happened. So that's why they were praying.
I just want these stories.
It's when they were praying that they saw a vision of a woman that was working to disrupt the crusade. So the prayer was so intense, the woman returned and started going back. So in the realm of the spirit, she now followed that. That's when the woman turned and slapped her. So it was when she slapped her that she lost her sight. And I was like, who sent you to follow her? The woman has started going back by herself. Who sent you? You want to go and cook for her? That was it.
So this story was actually real.
It was a real story. It's a real story. You think I'm joking?
I thought it was a joke because he said it on a
No.
stage.
I was not joking. It's a real story.
But the whole erupted. Even Pastor Ero was...
Of course, now, because when I started saying that, who sent her, why did you follow her, you want to go and cook for her? So, but it was a true story. It happened in real life, in real time.
But when you prayed for her, she gained her sight, how did you feel?
Of course, now I felt excited. You know those kind of things you hear, because I've been watching Pastor Christian for a very long time. Seeing him pray for sick people and they got well. And so then we've prayed for headache and vanished. But all those tangible miracles. So, person blind, you see, lame. So it was an eye opener for me that if you give yourself to God's word and sacrifice your time, you would get to levels that you never thought was possible. So it was a big.
Was it that you had prayed maybe 6 hours before you had you had a consciousness or something?
Fine. So the consciousness is not enough.
Okay.
So it's just like Usain Bolt now goes to the Olympics and runs, and they call him the fastest man in the world, and he runs for less than 10 seconds. But he's been preparing to run 10 seconds for 4 years. So he used 4 years to prepare for 10 seconds.
Okay.
So now, for the Christian, you've been praying. You don't have to wait to see a miracle, somebody in a situation before you now start saying, let me go and pray and come back. And it doesn't work like that. You must have energy. You must have power in the bank, which comes from a place of constant devotion. So I think it was from the place of devotion, and then I had the consciousness that, okay, there is God. Fine, as much as I was joking, I knew that there's nothing God cannot do. So it was just a test of faith. But at that time, I think my faith has grown to the point where it should happen.
Okay, so sir, you recently got back from on tour with Basketmouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a group. Put that on for your company. Don't just go Basketmouth like that.
Sir, no, Basketmouth is at the peak. He's arguably one of the biggest exports, from Nigeria.
When you say arguably, in comedy, he's the biggest export.
He's the biggest. The arguably are just the bits I don't hear.
He used to make grammar sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's actually the biggest.
Yeah.
He went around Europe, Birmingham, Manchester, and all. How did that make you feel?
So there are two things. A lot of people, somebody once said that you would never know how sweet victory is if you've never tasted defeat. So when you've tasted defeat, when you win, there's this extra satisfaction and joy that I won. It's not because you won; it's because you know how defeat feels like.
Yeah.
So going on tour with Basketmouth was different because I have gone on tour before. But it was a different one this time,
God.
Yeah. So it was a different one this time. No, that is not to spite anyone.
I know.
So it's just that the level that Basketmouth operates,
Yes.
it's a very high level. So everything we see most of these other comedians from almost an international comedian, then I realized that even myself, I'm an international comedian.
Okay.
So comedians from other clients like the United States, the UK. When they go on tour, you see that arrangement, hall arrangement, sound lights, theater-like stuff, tour movement, behind the scenes. You see all of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
That I'd never gotten when I went on tour with other people. It was exactly what I got when I went on tour with Basketmouth. And it made me see that, first of all, this thing is possible, and second is a privilege to work with this man. See, it was a very beautiful experience, and it's something I would wish every comedian from Nigeria experiences, because it's going to open your mind, shape your ideas, to show you that
see possibilities.
We've not started.
Yeah. So what was going through your mind all through the apart from your materials that you're going to say? Because of course I saw every night on your stories, people were commenting, fans were coming to take pictures with you.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course you have killer jokes. But what was going through your mind throughout, like as we were sitting down? Were you giving thanks to God inside?
No, of course you have to give thanks to God. Because first of all, flight is expensive. When they pay free flight for you to go to the King Throne, you have to time and say, God, thank you for safe flight. You flew straight. You didn't go and branch 9 countries before dropping here. So, to be very honest, I was just in awe of the man there. So every time I was thinking, I was just, this man has worked hard.
He has. Basket is.
He has worked hard. He has gone to this place. And then I started thinking, forever, you need to get to this point. How do you get to this point? What do you need to do? Now that's where a lot of Nigerian comedians get it wrong. That you tell your jokes in English does not mean
It's not enough.
that you will do well there. Because you can be saying something in English that they don't understand.
True.
So I was just telling myself, say forever, you need to work hard. You need to, it just blows your mind open. So that was what I was going through my mind. How do I get to this point? How do I get to the place? I have a lot of dreams. How do I get into these spaces? That was what I was running through my mind.
Wow. And for me personally, I had an encounter with Basketmouth, I think it was November 2023. You know, we had a production together. I think it was Mini Me, and Basketmouth just being present, you know, reshaping my mind, like just having contact with him, seeing how, you know, every statement he made, it was very authoritative, and people were ready to, you know, adjust, make the changes, because sometimes they can be like, no, oh Baba, take that again. And then everybody has to reset themselves. He'll be like, no, we have to all change our outfits. Everybody's sweating. Like, he is very professional, and he made sure that we understood that his name is added to this thing and he must not flop.
Exactly.
And everybody was at the top of it. I even told comedians, sometimes comedians will go on stage to do their set, and he'll tell you that this joke is not yours. This is Edo Pekin's joke. He cracked it in so yeah. The comedian is cracking joke, he's getting ovation. You know, that's Amuson Center. And then you turn and say, no, that's Ajay Baba's joke now. They do like this. I've been seeing it up. Senator say, yes, basket, I thought as much. You know, they have that energy. Yeah, so just seeing him change my mindset that if you know who you are, you should stand on that. It's not pride. You know? So that did a lot for me. And I was like, I have to work hard, because Basketmouth works hard. As he left that set, he was going to Flatmate to go and start shooting again. After a long day, we shot for almost, I think, 6 hours together and all. And that was really amazing. Anyways, I also realized that you have a lot of strategic relationships.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's amazing to me because you have relationships with gospel artists, you have relationship with even secular artists like Mercy Chinwo's, the Moses Bliss. You have relationship with the Just Too Funnies and the likes. Like, are you intentional with your relationships? And
I'm a human being now.
no, not everyone.
No, so that's where a lot of people get it wrong. So first of all, I'm a human being.
Yes.
And then I'm friends with these people because they are good people.
Well, that's not enough.
Of course, you only attract the kind of people who fit into your values. Then, now that I'm into entertainment, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
I don't want to tie my career to just one side. Because in 2012, I did my first ever gated event. My God. May 1st? Yes. Can't forget May 1st, 2012. London Hotels in Enugu. Jesus. I did this show. One of my closest friends, she's in the UK now, I would have called her name, Lady Simpena, but I'll forgive her. She did not come for my show. And I put my hope in the fact that my church members will attend my show.
Wow.
The hall could seat 700 people. We arranged 700 seats. We had 118 people in attendance. In the 118, not up to 40 were from my church. It was from that moment, you don't know me that, bro, you cannot build your career based on your church only. So that was the first one. In that 2012, I then moved to Lagos in July. So I got an event at the time. I went to do an event. And then I realized that all the jokes I had
were church
jokes.
Yes.
Those jokes were not fitting for that event. If not that I was very spontaneous, I would have been stranded. That's when I knew that you need to work hard. That's second. Then third one is that there is a certain level of influence that you need to command that is built on relationships. So if for example now, I've performed at the O2 in 2020.
My guess no small.
Because I went to Basketmouth. Doesn't mean I cannot perform at the O2. I could have performed at the O2 maybe like another 4 or 5 years. But because I went to Basketmouth, I performed 5 years earlier. So that is what relationship does for you. So when people see that, so when you're able to build strong relationships, in a mentorship way, you can climb on their shoulders and soar. So when you're supposed to take a step, somebody is carrying you above it.
Get that.
So I understood all of this, knowing fully well that fine, I cannot be in one spot. I need to cut across. Because again, what people don't understand is you are an apostle in the marketplace. It's not by word of mouth. So when you come to my comedy specials, when you listen to the jokes I say, you know that the jokes are intentional in changing a particular narrative. I don't need to change the narrative for the guys in church. Now, I need to change the narrative for the people who are not in church.
True.
So it's as simple as that. So my relationship must cut across.
Various. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's go back to one of your very funny stories that you said. I don't know if this one is real. The first one you said, the first one you said it was real. Let's see if this one is not real. You said you applied for a job of a
sales girl, February 4th, 2008, at Ogui Road. I still remember when. So in Enugu,
yes,
there's a place called Otigba Roundabout. I'm describing where I went to submit that letter. So Otigba Roundabout is one of the like the major centers of Enugu. So we have Holy Ghost Market. So when you drive straight that road, you get
that's not a market. Holy Ghost.
Yeah, Holy Ghost. Because there's Holy Ghost Catholic Church there, so they just called that place Holy Ghost. So that Otigba Roundabout,
okay,
this is the roundabout. On this side, there's a, can I call the name of a bank?
Why not?
There's a UBA bank.
Okay.
There used to be Rainbow Nets, the telecoms company owned by the former governor, Chimareke Namani. Then there's Cosmo FM, where Guzoba used to work. Now, so if you drive straight, that's New Heaven.
Okay.
If you go to your left,
okay,
that's Ogui Road.
Okay.
It was on the left. The place, they call it railway crossing because that's the railway road.
So you're so detailed in you.
Yes, so you know that this thing happened.
I think these are pictures in my head already.
Opposite. So the man's office was on this side.
Okay.
This side is what they call the computer village of Enugu.
Okay.
So I crossed the road. Okay. I saw sales get needed. By the man's office was in a caravan, red caravan that had a car wash by the side. And I dropped that later.
And they called you?
The man called me in the evening.
Okay.
Because when I dropped it, I was not on seat. So I went to see him in the morning and he saw me. I was like, how can I help you? I said, you called me. Yes, he said it was a girl I called. I said, I am the guest. So the man laughed. I said, what do you want? I said, his work I'm looking for is I can do work of a sales girl. So the man saw how desperate I was.
Okay.
And what he did was that he then gave me another job that he said is a girl. So apparently he was not the one that was looking for a sales girl. He's like a contractor.
Okay.
People who need employees, they meet him. He provides the employees. He gets his cut from them. Takes a cut from the first month's salary of the people. So he was like a middleman.
Okay.
So he now said that there's another job that this person actually wants a sales girl, but he's going to give me another job. That's how I became a cleaner at Golden Tools Restaurant at Rangers Avenue in Enugu.
You're so detailed.
No, if I don't say this, people will think that I'm making up stories.
But it's very. You said you told the girl.
I'm the girl because there was no reason why I was in this.
On your application letter, what name did you write?
I wrote my name. So because I'm Soko, he's Igbo, he didn't know what the name meant, of course.
Forever again.
Yeah.
Ha. Okay. Then another story. He said, because I've consumed a lot of your interviews and all. You said you met your wife on your way
to the toilet. Yeah, simple as that.
And I think it was you met her on the way to the toilet, and how did you exchange pleasantries? For most guys like my generation, that's a very uncomfortable place, first of all, because why would I want to meet a girl in toilets?
So it was not as if she was in the toilet, I was inside the toilet to see what happened. House on the Rock Enugu did the program, and Don Moen was the major music art. So I was meant to host and do comedy. So all the other musicians have finished ministry. It was time for Don Moen. Now, because of the texture of his voice, the sound had to be in a particular way for him to sing effectively. So the engineers how to reset the sound for him. Now, the now said I should just do like 5 minutes, will be done.
Okay, performance.
In performing 5 minutes, something that happened to the sound. And I said, well, my pastor said, just be talking. I said, just what?
Talking.
Just be talking to you.
It works.
So I was on stage for about 45 minutes, and then the sound came back. And then I told them
That's a
I'm
lot of
done
pressure.
for the night. No, it's me. It's me. Once I've entered my mood like that,
Yeah,
off I
spirit.
go. 45 minutes I was done. While I was performing, I was pressed.
Okay.
So as I dropped the mic from the stage, I quickly ran to the toilet. Yeah, as I urinated, I came out. So I now saw her. She was talking about 2 or 3 other ladies who were in protocol department, but I knew the other 3 ladies. So her face was the only new face. So I wanted to have a conversation with her because, of course,
Was it love at first sight?
No, it was not love at first sight. Yeah, I don't believe there's anything like love at first sight. Rubbish. How can you see someone who want to love the person? No, you are attracted to the person at first sight, and then you get to know the person before you love the person. So love is a journey that you get into. So you cannot. It was attraction at first sight, but of course, fine girl.
Yes.
My spec, fair woman. I've let it out.
They were
Like, go and be fair and stand in my front. I've already seen.
yeah, man of God. You really open blind eye.
Let not close my own. So that was why I said, hi, how are you? You're so fine. Are you in this department? I said, yes. I don't know you. Say she's new. I said, oh, nice. Take my card. When
You had card.
Yes, I had the complimentary card. How can you be working with Sakwas at that time and not have a complimentary
Sako
card?
too came to Enugu.
No, I was already in Lagos then.
Okay.
So if you're working with Sako, the first thing you do is a complimentary card.
Okay.
So I said, take my card. I said, when you want to marry, call me. That was what I used to start the conversation. Because there's no reason why I'm giving her my card.
You told her when you want to get married.
Call me or MC your wedding. Because there's no reason why I would be giving her my card. So that was an easy way
easy
to
route.
give her the card. So that was it. So I met my wife in front of toilet.
Wow. And who shot the shot first?
Me now. And I proposed to her in front of toilet.
Again. Wow.
August 8th, 2015.
Why in front of the?
So I wanted to propose to her in July when she.
Like your story.
No. Serious things are real stories. When she was done with youth service, it was July 2nd. So I wanted to propose to her on that day.
Okay.
So Francis did an event in Abakaliki. So I told him that, okay, just come to Enugu so that I have a few of my friends around. So she knew Francis at the time. I think 2 of my friends were around. So I was on a messy talk.
Okay.
I told her that a few of my friends are in Enugu. She just added 1 or 2 together. Like, why are your friends in Enugu on the day I'm rounding up youth service? So she called me aside. Do you want to propose to me? I checked right. He said, talk now. I will not collect ring in front of anybody, so I will not disgrace you. And I said, yes. He said, I like you, but I will not collect your ring yet. I don't think we are friends enough for me to make that decision.
Jesus. How did you feel at that point? Your heart sank.
Sank now, that's even a heart when they bury. The heart was buried.
And the ring you bought?
The ring was with me in my pocket. So when she was saying all of these things, I just called the friend and said, if you don't buy meat by pay, I'm not coming again. So that's how they left. So that evening we went to church. I was sitting by her side. She saw that I was not myself. But that was what made us better friends.
But you had an audacity for you to. She said you guys were not friends enough.
Enough. That does not mean we're not friends. So we're not friends enough to make that decision. So it was my job to convince her to be friends enough.
Okay.
So it's as simple as that. It's English language.
So
you spoke. I understood English
you
language.
Proposed your proposal.
Yes, when I proposed on August 8th, she was teaching in school during her NYSC. So they were done with exams. So she was just marking scripts and recording the scores. So to help the work easy for her, she would mark the script and record the scores. So she went to urinate. By the time she came out, I said, I don't need that color ring. Take this ring. I wanted you to do proper proposal. You're not there. You see, we're not friends enough. Are you friends enough? That color ring. This is the last one. So at that time.
For how many? What was the distance? How many months apart from the one you postponed?
It was exactly 5 or 6 weeks.
5 or 6 weeks. That's enough. But what has marriage done for you so far? How has marriage changed you? Okay, let's condense it. How has marriage and fatherhood changed you so far?
It's made me a better person because there's only room for improvement. Every day you must get better. So marriage has made me a better person. I thought I was a very, when you are the one ringing your own bell, singing your own songs, you think your voice is good. Until another person hears, we need to add this auto-tune, we need to add this, we need to fix this in. So marriage has made me a better person. Then the fatherhood has made me realize that in this life, try your best to do your best.
How does it feel spending money on on people that, how do I put it? How do I phrase this question well? That's not you. Like, spend your money on somebody else.
So that question is very broad. Spend your money on somebody else, there are many people. If it's about spending your money on your children and your family, it's very fulfilling.
Yes.
Very, very fulfilling, knowing that this person's life is on a good way, on a good path because
of you
in a way. You get it? Because it's God ultimately. It's very fulfilling. Then also spending your money on other people that you've been able to support is also very fulfilling because you know that you are the reason this person can smile today. Yes. So, because I ultimately believe that not every money you have belongs to you.
Okay.
Not every money you have belongs to you because that's a problem for many people.
That is very...
So there was an event I did. It was a free event. They told me that forever it's free. I said, no worry, I will do it for you guys. So I went to the event. They now called me later and say, we just feel like thanking you, giving you transport, and they sent me 100,000.
At that time?
The moment the 100,000 touched my hand, I heard it in my spirit that this money is not for you. I said, so who is the money for? So I kept it. So I got home, told my wife, I said, see what the Holy Spirit said, that this money is not for me. So all I did was that I took out my tithe, which is 10,000. So I left 90,000 in my account, and I was praying, who is this money for? And then I got the names of certain people and how I should share it. And then I sent the money. So I just called them. I said, how you did that? Longest time. Send me your account details. Send me your account. So I sent the money to them in the order that was arranged for me. So one of them called back. She was crying. That's what happened. He said, this singular action has proven to her that there is God. Wow. I said, I don't understand. He said the exact amount of money she needed to pay for something was what I sent to her.
Jesus. Wow.
I said, it's God now, so...
You feel like you just...
But because it's not my money.
Yeah.
So she should be thanking God.
And this is money that will not even come. They just chose to appreciate you for it.
To give it to me. So when it's with that, I know that not every money is your money. So when you're able to help people because it puts a smile on their face.
Yes.
But when you try to get everything, that is when you will never be fulfilled though. Never.
Okay. One of the reasons let me quickly ask. Like when you were proposing to your wife, do you have everything figured out?
Nah.
Did you have a house? Did you have a car?
Of course I had a house. I didn't have a car. I got married without having a car.
Because I'm like, that's one of the anxieties I have now, that I have to have everything figured out. Maybe it's because of where I'm coming from.
Look at Don Jazzy.
See, look at Don Jazzy.
He has not figured it. See, that's the mistake a lot of people make. So perfection is not real. Perfection cannot be achieved in isolation. So perfection today is imperfection tomorrow. So we're meant to attain perfection momentarily and daily. So today now, you have a perfect day after this podcast. And then you are so free. I achieved my dreams. So when someone asks, how was the day? Perfect day.
Yes.
You've achieved perfection.
Yes.
By the time you sleep and wake up, tomorrow when there's nothing to do, you're like, why today day like this now?
Exactly.
Because you're looking for something else to do to make that same tomorrow a perfect day. So perfection is a continuous thing. It does not happen in isolation. So for me, there were basic things I didn't want to joke with. I had a house. When I mean a house, it's not... I was living in a one-bedroom apartment, parlor room, tiny bathroom.
And how about your wife? Was her family very comfortable?
Her family was comfortable in Benin. So when she came to do her training, She was working in the bank. Then she came to do her training in Lagos. I said, come and see the house. If you marry me, this is the house you will stay. Oh.
Sacrifice.
Come and see the house. Now let me explain the house to you. So she was saying that when we marry, she would like all these husband and wife love baths. I say, see, this bath will not be. If the both of us,
It's the love bath.
if the both of us bathe at the same time, this bath, so that means one my leg will be outside. This is a, so when we're done bathing, I will start mopping house because the water would have come out of the bathroom. I'm not joking. So I can stand at the door and be gisting with you if that's what you want. But only one person can be in the bathroom at a time. My kitchen was, I actually think that now they forgot to put kitchen in the plan.
Okay.
It was only where do you cook? Cut this part out. The door does not close. 16 Oniru, my friend.
Yes.
The first time he came there, he saw my kitchen. He said, oh boy. So your kitchen is small. I found soup no done here. That was what he said. I can't forget it. That was how tiny the kitchen was. So I had a house.
Okay.
That was fine in a way. I painted it.
Did you battle self-esteem?
Never.
Because she was comfortable. She would have been in her parents' house even after you married her.
Then she no agree now. It's as simple as that. So I've always known that I might not be as wealthy as you are. I might not come from the same background as you came from. But you see in this life, you cannot be me. What I've always said to myself is, the worst that will happen is you say no. And then I move on, you move on. It's as simple as that. If I didn't like her, I went to meet her because I liked her. If she now feels that my level is not up to her level, it's as simple. And go now. Will I not die because of you? So when we're getting married, I told her two things. I said, choose one. We move from this house to a bigger house.
Okay.
Or we buy a car. Because when we got married, there was no car. There was no car. So she now said, she thinks we should get a car. I said, wish I agree. Because in this Lagos, because if rain beats you, they're going to say, umbrella not they work. We're for rainy season.
Umbrella doesn't work.
So we now got the car, but I promised her that okay, before you give birth to your first child, by God's grace, we'll move out of this. And we did.
It happened.
With the help of God. So, but everything was not figured out. But I knew that okay, my finances will be able, if God forbid the bad thing that she does not have a job. If she does not have a job, the finances that was coming in will be able to take care of 2 people at the time.
That's also another thing too.
No, because you must calculate all of these things.
Because it was your early days, you were not really getting a lot of jobs.
I was getting jobs, or small money jobs. You get it?
One of the reasons why I chose you as a mentor, sir, is first of all, your love for God. Yes, and maybe because of my personal background, because I got my call from a Christian, comedian, and I think I was one of the first times I saw it was Dominion City. There was this performance you did at Dominion City with Frances.
Yeah, that's 2016.
Yes, and you had this joke about it's good to marry now, or else you'll be serving coke. Yes, like I remember watching it on my bed in 100 level. Yeah, those were very funny jokes, and
I've forgotten some of those jokes.
so that's it. You forgot to say already. You cracked it there. You did that. When we will.
That was my killer. Then.
Yes, yeah, Frances, and those were so. I saw you in the church setting, and you were doing it with everything in you. I think there was another one again you did for Dominion City. I think maybe inside your church, apart from that one that they had the dinner and all. I also see you perform in stadiums because of the church as well. And also, I've seen you testify in church. A time when you had a little challenge during COVID, you said you lost.
No, it's not a little challenge. It was a mighty challenge.
You said you had no money. That the only thing that was on your account was your name.
That was my account name.
And how you trusted God throughout that phase. And you came out very strong.
Yeah.
And also for the love of the craft. You're actually very intentional about it.
Yeah.
You putting your all into it. And I told you recently, I said, sir, you make stand-up comedy look so good. And you do it the right way. Is it conscious effort? Or is there a reason why you are doing it like that? Or is there something you have seen that's making you do it that way? Because in this industry, nobody is your boss. Whether you do it or not, nobody cares. You are your own boss. So are you the one that's intentionally policing yourself to do those things, or it's just flowing?
So I would say there is a high level of intentionality about it, and also because of things I've seen. So my introduction to comedy, because normally when you ask Nigerian comedians, who are the comedians that you saw, you now see, I used to watch Ed Griffin. I have not seen those
Any
guys
special?
before. See,
My generation of comedians, we don't watch all those guys.
that's why most of them are not funny. I know they fear that. You need to start from base. You must start from where you are. Then you grow into that space.
True.
All right. So my first introduction to comedy was Night of 1,000 Laughs.
Yes.
And I saw how comedy was natural. There were no tables. The halls were classroom seating, like church services. Everyone would sit and face the stage. And then after a while, I started seeing how comedies gradually became parties, wedding receptions. I had comedians
And
in special guests. I've done a show in this Lagos at Ikeja where they serve rice. I'm not joking.
Comedy show.
It was a comedy show. I was on stage performing. Next thing I started perceiving jollof rice. So apparently, if you bought a table,
Okay.
they will put a cooler of rice under your table.
Yeah.
Whenever you're hungry, serve yourself. So when I was performing that the first table was hungry, and I opened the cooler. I was perceiving, wow, where is rice coming from? The man said, you go chop, now our table. I said, wait, is this a comedy show in the wedding reception? He said, Baba will buy table now. What do we differentiate us from regular? And because of that,
Yeah.
I saw what it did to the comedians. Now, you must also know that comedy is an act. And for every act to be expressed effectively, you need to be the God in that space. Any God you serve, I'm a Christian, so I serve God through Jesus. All right, everybody serves God. It's the passageway that is the issue. I serve God through Jesus.
Yes.
So the reason we worship God is because He is God in our space.
True.
That's why, in a way, artists are like gods. You see their fans, they worship them. So for me to effectively express comedy on the day of my show, nobody is more important than me.
Okay, sir, so why do you think comedians don't perform at their shows?
Because they don't prepare for the shows. They just come to the show. That's what it is. I need to pay our strength. Where will I go now? I'll do show.
Just like that.
Hey. So when they do the show, they have friends that are funny. Like 20 guys, back to back.
You get those Chapali down.
You're Shabali Dua. You come up, you do the show. Successful because they have a clientele that will always buy their ticket.